The following program deals with a controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation.
The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
Where did Ben go? Ben just dropped out.
His camera, like, just...
What is going on, everybody? Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Sorry, we can't hear you. Check your mic settings.
Forget to turn your mic on. So, or you forget to turn it off.
We had just heard him, though, which was the crazy part.
I know, dude. Sometimes it is what it is. Welcome, everybody, to another Friday night, another House of Stein Hot 10 show, bringing you the hottest comics in the secondary market for the week of April 18th, Easter weekend. You got any? Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yep.
Got any plans for Easter weekend there, Yee?
I'm getting ready for bicycle day.
Yeah?
I'm getting ready for bicycle day instead. See,
Nice.
everyone, I feel like I'm gonna go up the next level. I feel like people are too excited about 420, whatever. You know, most states it's like legal or at least medicinal or whatever, or decriminalized in some sort of fashion. So I'm over that. So I'm gonna celebrate bicycle day this year.
Bro,
instead.
I got one for you. So I walked into my dispensary today and I had no idea what the date was.
Yeah.
And they go, bro, and shout out to Lord Zero who's in the chat. He goes, bro, it's 50% off everything today, and there's a food truck out front that's giving away free food. And I went, nice.
See, that's what happens when every day is 420 for you anyways, right? Like it's just another day, and then like it's like, oh, when it lands on the day, everything is cheaper. Awesome. It's time to restock. And it's the same as like Christmas bud too, right? There's just something magical about like those two times a year, like springtime, wintertime, and then
Amen.
All right.
Amen.
Do you care if I send a link to Longshort?
Yes, bring him in, man.
All right.
Shoot him the link. He should.
While you're doing this, please explain to me what is bicycle day.
Oh, so
you guys are having like a whole conversation. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
So the creator of LSD, the story is like when he created it in the lab, he tested it on himself, and then he wasn't feeling any of the effects. So he went to go out and ride his bicycle to his home, and then started feeling the effects of LSD. And so every year on 421, is that the right date? People celebrate bicycle day by going out riding a bike and dropping LSD. So
it's April 29th. That's or April 19th. That's tomorrow.
Oh,
that
sweet! I was going to do it tomorrow anyways. Yes.
So speaking of that, I want to give a real big shout out to Mr. Longshort who just joined us, but I also want to give a real big shout out to my boy Art by Fitz, who tomorrow has a really cool sale for not only Bicycle Day, but 420 weekend and his good stuff. Art by Fitz has a really cool project that he's doing where he's got these boxes here that he's put together, and he's also got some really limited prints and all this crazy stuff that he's offering. So $4.19. Check out these boxes. I don't know. Did you see these? Did I show you these last night?
Yeah, I do remember these.
Look how dope these are.
You should have listed on Wednesday, but they're really cool.
This is in every box, right? You get, I think, an ashtray. You get a set of rolling papers, and they're all his characters on there. I mean, you get the...
I love how they're pink rolling papers, too, by the way.
I know. So, like all this cool stuff. You get a keychain, and then you get a chance to buy limited prints. He's got really limited prints. So he's got limited prints of 25, 10, and then he's got a 1-of-1. So if you guys know Beyond Wednesdays, you guys know that Art by Fitz is one of my favorite new up and coming artists. I think he's going to be a superstar. It's just going to take a little bit of, I think this is probably his year. There's so many good artists that this is their year, right? Like one of the artists is on our show is in the top spot tonight. You know what I mean? So, anyways, let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start it off with the woe/blow. Oh, that blows. That blows. No, it doesn't blow. There's 2 woes this week, so. This J. Scott Campbell book that he put out this week might be the best Zatanna image he's ever done. I think probably the best. It might be one of the best covers he's ever done.
Really?
Okay.
Is this the only Zatanna?
No, aren't they doing a color or black and white background, or where she's in black and white or something like that?
Yeah, there's a spot color, but this might be the only cover he's ever done as Zatanna, right?
But he's also doing like an issue 2 or 3 or something like that. Or is this issue 3?
Yeah.
There's another one coming out for either 4 or 5 or whatever it is.
This is an excellent cover. What were you going to say, Ben?
No, these didn't even sell out. So when he sold these on his site, what was it, like last weekend? Yeah, like if you look at the rivals, they sold out in like minutes. Like these, I don't know if they're still there, but hours after they went on sale, they were still available. So
you can't buy a set. They still have A cover signed and unsigned copies.
Okay, just the A's.
Go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, no Hood tonight. Shout out to our boy Hood. Hood's been working his ass off, so he's been doing a lot of stuff lately. So he gets a night off. We bring in Mr. Longshort.
So is Longshort. So is Yee. So is I. We're all working our butts off, right?
Yeah. So sometimes we got to take the night off, So sometimes we get night off.
Longshort's just cruising around the entire planet, but
Listen, man.
I did work on the podcast before several times over the years. So.
I didn't have to work today. I had the day off, so
lucky.
So plenty of gas in the tank to be up to be on the show tonight. So thank you for having me.
Well, it's a special night. Again, we don't have a blow book tonight. We have 2 woe books tonight. This King Spawn Billy Kincaid cover is one of the creepiest covers I've seen in a long time, and Stein agrees.
Yeah, I saw this, and the fact that it's coming out Easter weekend and he's painting eggs, and this is super, super creepy. Yeah, gosh, man, this is just, and the fact that he's got what is it? I'm kind of blind, but is that like a Spawn doll in the back?
Yeah, there's a Spawn doll. There's a missing girls poster
where it's knitted together.
He's painting the eggs with chopped off fingers. And look what he's painting the eggs, little Spawn faces and happy faces.
Bro, that is creepy.
Have you seen
I might have to get this one.
Have you seen the new series that's coming out based on the girl he killed? So the little girl that he killed in the beginning of Spawn is getting her own series. She's coming back as with vengeance. So I don't know if she's a Spawn. Looks more like she's a clown type, a demon, but she's coming back and she's got her own series and it looks badass. It looks really cool.
That's going to be good, I think. I hope. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Spawn.
Does that one egg have a syringe sticking out of it?
Yeah.
Like he's
putting drugs in the candy, bro.
God. Gosh, man.
Yeah, that's.
So are you gonna
that's
buy it on
terrible.
Easter Sunday?
Man.
Stein's gonna give it
This
to
is
the
your
little
Easter book
kids.
of the week.
This is going in Easter baskets.
Yeah.
You start handing out.
Give it to my 7-year-old.
Mm.
Well,
All right,
if
guys.
you do, then they'll end up starting to collect art like this. Oh shit!
That's
Ladies
creepy
and
too.
gentlemen, we have
Right
a
in
long
time.
time OG. It's nice to see him return. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you Richie Taylor.
Richie,
Can you hear me now?
what's up, brother?
We can hear
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Back up from
Yeah.
it a little bit. You don't need to get so
He
close.
does
You're good.
exist.
I'm just kidding. What's up? Hey everybody.
look at this
What
guy.
up, boys?
With
I
the
didn't
pink
know
haircut.
Ben
I
would be
didn't-
here.
I didn't even recognize you. Who's this guy?
Yeah, it's a freaking silver fox.
No,
What's going on?
that's
brother?
that corporate haircut. That's what that looks like.
Honestly, when was the last show you were on?
I did buy the dip by myself when Aaron hurt his back, and I think it was like week 9 of the NFL season.
I was gonna say like October. That's what I was thinking. Like
Yeah,
October.
I think it was like in October and November or something like that. So
Is that when I got the surgery?
not sure. I don't. The only person I caught up with is my guy up here. We went to WonderCon. We met up at WonderCon.
Nice.
That was pretty incredible,
It
and
was a lot of fun.
I got to meet him in person. And I don't smoke weed, but I hit the blunt with my guy, and
have to,
we
at
talked
least
about our
once.
dogs. Yeah, and then I met Big Leg and Big Clutch, and yeah, it was really cool. It was a lot of fun.
Dude,
That's a good
so like
show.
standing next to y'all was like seeing a bunch of giants hang out.
Brian is really tall, but he actually wasn't. I was actually expecting him to just tower over the whole place, even the guys that are wearing like 10-inch freaking costume shoes. But he's just like a normal dude. So
Legs 6'6". I'm 6'2". Probably
legs,
yeah,
legs a
6'2".
big boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
legs 6'6". Yeah. So,
How tall is Clutch? Because I feel like he's like probably just as tall as Leg, right? Maybe a little taller.
He's pretty tall too. Yeah, he's pretty
Yeah.
tall. I mean, for us short guys, I mean, I'm so short. When I sit on the toilet, my legs swing. So it's
Man, that's unusual that I would be like one of the short people.
yeah. There's Clutch. He's about the same height as me.
Okay.
Marat Michaels. There's Drew. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
But thanks for having me, guys. I was really excited to be here. Sorry I'm late. I was actually going to add some books to buy the dip and everything, but then I submitted a loan literally in the last hour that the processors and underwriting was in office, and it just took forever. So sorry about that.
Well, let's
No
get into it.
worries.
You ready? Let's do it. Buy the dip, ladies and gentlemen.
So yeah, so I have a sad story at the end of my spiel on this. So this recently sold for 559 and a 9.8, which is pretty close to the all-time high for this year of $600. With the low being at 350. But if you compare it to last year's numbers, it sold for at a high at $1,000 and the low at 347. So I feel like there's still like even at that price, there might be still room to grow on this. And then honestly, just like comparing all the prices over the last 4 years, so from 2022 to 2024, it's all floated around as the low of like 350 to the high of like 1,000 to the all-time high of like was 1054, which I think was in 2023, I want to say. And then anyways, I think that low for that year was like $500, but even in like 2024, like I said already.
This is a great pick, bud. I like this one. And Ben Stein can attest to this. Ben, you were in Facts for like a minute, right? Like, weren't you you were like involved in that during that time? I think that's right when I met you, or right before we became friends.
Yeah.
I remember because this book had already dropped and it had little dips. I don't think I think it got to ratio, but I remember when the Miles started getting huge, and then this is before the pandemic, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, that Tedesco 1 in 50, that's the one, and this book went nuclear before the pandemic.
Right.
Yeah, man, I love Tedesco. I will say Miles looks a little scrawny on this one for me.
Miles's head looks like an atomic bomb. Like it doesn't look real.
Yeah. But okay, so here's my sad story about this book. So I went to Dallas Fan Expo one year, and Tedesco, making one of his rare American appearances, was signing books. He brought his own books and was doing remarks on them. So this book, he already had a remark on it, and he was only asking $75 for it.
What?
Yeah. And then I was at the booth with someone else, and they were slightly ahead of me, and they were ahead of me, so they were picking out what they were getting. And then then like, you know, everyone started talking about, what are you thinking about getting or whatever. And then I was trying not to say anything, and then he's like, I'm thinking between this one and this one. And then someone was like, oh man, if you pass on that one, I'm picking it up. And then I think I kind of followed suit, and it was A&Z Comics. So
Damn. Shout out to Darth Lopez with the $4.99 super chat. He says, classic panel, Flipperverse for life. What up, dollar? Good shit.
What's up, Darth, brother? Good to see you, man.
I love this book. I think this is one of Tedesco's best covers. Obviously, it's a 10, man. Even with that huge head on Miles.
Tedesco is, first of all, like the nicest guy ever, and like just a brilliant artist.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I think a sleeper book in this, out of all, because this has multiple covers, because like I was saying before, first appearance of
Evil
Miles 616, Evil Miles, and then Ultimatum, and I don't know what he is now. He died, comes back, whatever. But I think the 1 in 10 where Miles is like up close and he's like under the freeway right there, I think that's a serious sleeper right there. I think that could explode one day.
What's going to happen when Miles shows up at the end of Spider-Verse 4 or Spider-Man 4?
He gets nuclear again.
I think that's happening, dude. I really do. If that chick's playing Spider-Gwen, it's definitely happening, right?
Yeah, that's a good call.
I could see that chick playing Spider-Gwen, right? The girl from Stranger Things.
Oh, the
Sadie.
The red hair.
Sadie, yeah.
Yeah, nobody knows who she's playing yet, right? People are like, "Oh, it's MJ." There's already an MJ. She's gonna be Spider-Gwen, man. She's gonna be Gwen Stacy from some other place. And
it's not like they can't dye their hair for roles.
And this whole thing is about fixing the multiverse, right? Doomsday is all about fixing the multiverse. It's all about fixing everything. I could totally see her being a big part of that movie, and then Miles showing up right at the end for Doomsday. So we'll see.
And all of Miles's books are way down, right? I mean, way down. So probably the lowest hanging fruit right now you can get. So we'll see.
For sure.
Yeah, I think I saw first appearance 9/8 going for like 980 or something like that. So I feel
really, whoa!
It's like first print A covers. So I was like, kind of like, I still think that could wiggle down a little bit more, but I mean, you just have to catch an auction that's ending at a bad time.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the almost 10. Starting off with a book that we were just talking about, going over the new issues on Wednesday night. This is actually a cover that like I don't mind too much. I'm not obviously a fan of all the homage covers. There are some that I really love, You have to really do a good job, especially these days, to make me fall in love with an homage cover. And this isn't one I usually gravitate towards, but for some reason I really like this one. Rogue Sun issue number 26, the Superman versus Spider-Man, right? Treasury edition homage for from Marcelo Costa. It's a 1 in 25. Is on the almost 10. Starts off the almost 10 this week.
Yeah, this one sold for 50. I can't. What was it last month? 25 came out, and it was doing. It was the 1 in 25 was doing pretty well on that one too. It still sells for about 40. So, I mean, I wouldn't like overpay or anything like that. Even though this is probably not going to be super plentiful, but I don't know. McClay likes this one. I'm not a big fan of this one, but
I feel like it has a niche crowd.
Yeah.
The people that are into
Definitely.
the
Good
Radiant Black universe, they're into it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, $50, not too bad for a book that just came out. Not too shabby. It's nice to see. Listen, there was a lot of books that came out this week that are selling really good right now, and some surprising ones that are on the list tonight. I don't know if they're necessarily surprising. They're surprising in ways, I'll say. Let's move on to Star Wars. Star Wars back on the Hot 10 show with Jedi Knights issue number 1, the Raza second print, the wraparound version 1 in 25, which is it's beautiful for sure, and there's a ton of new Jedis. So,
gosh, if you could only display this one like as this rather than just a folded over book. I still wish that CGC eventually would have a some kind of case where you could flatten the book for these wraparounds, because this one would actually, this one would look good. But I like Raza. Not that anybody's buying anything Star Wars, but this one did sell for 75 or more, so
not too shabby. It's a good cover, but you're right. You're only going to see a part of it, and which makes it not that great.
Wookie says this will be $5 in 6 months. That's not going to happen. It's not going to be a $5 book.
$75 raw is not too bad for this either.
I wouldn't mind having the print.
Hey,
put it on my wall.
Yeah.
I mean, the OA is out of the question, but you know.
Yeah. Wow. Very cool. All right. Moving on. A perfect example of an almost 10 book. This is amazing. Gray Morrow's Private Commissions, issue number 1 from Apple Press in 1992. How many people in the chat have seen this book? Let me get a 1 in the chat if you've ever seen this book. And be serious.
I can almost. I bet Ben's got this book.
Uh-huh.
I don't have it. I don't have it.
Right?
It's not an easy book. It's not an easy book.
I feel like we accomplished something then.
Yeah, no, it's not an easy book to get.
So surprisingly, this book was only selling. This was only like a $20 book, but this week it sold for 50 raw. But I mean, pretty much all other sales on this thing are generally in like the $20 to $25 range. So, which is odd for a book that might not be that easy to get.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't think this is on a lot of people's radars, to be honest with you.
I've never seen it before.
I know a couple shops that keep an adult only like box section, and you go check it.
I mean, this is kind of modest by some of the books coming out today, to be honest with you. So
true.
It's fair. It is fair.
Yeah.
Oh boy, times have changed.
Yeah. Moving on. Inherit the Earth, the hardcover signed edition, limited to $250. Jim Shooter, J.G. Jones art. Interesting. I've never seen this. I don't even know what it's about. Any of you guys ever seen this?
Oh yeah, I've got this. This has been on the show before.
Really?
You've had this on the show before. I am 99% sure. Yeah, this is a. I've got this. This is a trade paperback, but I swear you guys covered this at one point.
There is a trade paperback. This one's the hardcover.
Oh, the hardcover. Okay.
Yeah, and this one apparently from the listing, it is like all 250 are signed, and I think they're signed by Shooter Jones. I think they're both, and they are numbered.
Is this the same cover to the trade paperback?
It might be.
Okay.
It's very similar if it's not. Like it's the same vibe if it isn't. I've got the trade paperback, not the hardcover, but yeah, I swear this was on. You guys had covered this at one point a few years ago, maybe.
Woo. I thought we were gonna have to call it a wrap if we, repeated ourselves.
I wouldn't doubt it.
You know what's
We talk
crazy?
about a lot of
You know
comics
what's
every week.
you know what's insane is we add 10 books, at least 10 every single week, and I mean I try really hard to not duplicate.
Yeah.
But man, you start racking it. I mean, I'm sure Ben does the same thing on his on his show, and it's like it's really hard.
Aaron and I do the same for By the Dip. We try not to duplicate, but sometimes
It's really
Yeah, I mean, I've done it on this show where I've duplicated the By the Dip. I'm like, did I do this one already? And everyone's like, you've already done that one. I'm like, oh, my bad.
If you're doing 20 books a week, like you lose track. You just can't keep it all straight,
Yeah.
For sure.
It's a good cover though. I do like this cover.
Yeah, I agree. Very good cover.
For sure.
All right. 275. Moving on. A book that we've talked about before. Well, maybe not necessarily this exact one, but the barcode variant, something that a long time ago, Flipside, I remember talking about the barcode variants. One of those really rare variants that you don't hear much about, but there are a few people out there that are like hardcore collectors of these variants that will pay a lot of money for them.
So hard to find these.
Yeah. So for people that don't know what we're talking about, where the barcode for the newsstand usually is, there's a Bart Simpson piece of an image of Bart, and they did it twice, right? They did it for. Did they do it twice?
There's four. I think there's four issues.
There's four. There's four.
Yeah.
But didn't they do it on another series too, with another image?
Radioactive Man, I think, has
Okay.
a barcode. Bart Man has a barcode.
And Itchy and Scratchy?
And yes, Itchy and Scratchy definitely has it. Yes.
Okay, so they did it on four series,
I believe so.
and each four series has 4 books, or is it just 4?
No.
It's 4 different issues.
Yeah.
4
So
issues.
it's 4
Yeah,
issues
and then I
total.
think
For some reason, I thought there was like 2 different Bart images where they did it with, but I could be wrong. 4 connecting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, did they do a second set like that?
I thought they did a second set, but maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. This is more than 500. I've heard of these things going for more than 500, right?
graded. No,
Okay.
raw. This is pretty high for raw.
Okay.
500 for a raw is pretty high. And it depends on which one you like. This one, I'm sure this one is, because of the all black, is probably a little harder to find in higher grade. I would tend to think so, but like there was a CGC 9.6, I think, that sold for like, of this exact book, the last sale was like 550 or something like that for a 9.6, but this was 500 for a raw.
Yeah. Crazy stuff, man. I love it. It's very cool. All right. Moving on. Another tough book, the all black cover. Spawn number 12, The Newsstand, had a CGC 9.8 sale of $950. Wow.
Yeah. The prior all-time high for this in a 9.8 before this week was just $600. So the fact that this one sold for $950, I mean, that's what 150%, 160% increase off the all-time high. That's crazy. That's a big jump.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I've got this in newsstand. It's
Yeah, me
not
too.
an 8. I'm certain of that. But damn, man, what a premium! Holy shit.
Super tough and high grade.
So are you just saying anytime you have a Spawn newsstand, it's in high grade, grade it?
I grab anytime I see a Spawn newsstand for cheap. I grab them all. I've got a ton of them, but they're probably none of them are probably 9/8 is the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tough book.
DeVoe said there's 5.
There's no 5, he said. Did he say there's 5?
Yeah, he says there's 5. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought there was another barcode. There was more than 4. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Moving on. Batman, issue number 6 from the Capullo Snyder run. This is the second printing, red variant. We've all been waiting for this book to just explode, and it's getting ready to happen. Yeah. Yeah.
But 140 raw for the second print.
I could see it even getting more than that.
It's not easy, man. It's not an easy book. I mean, really. I mean,
Even the cover
It's
price,
not like issue
or
one.
the not cover price. The shout out to Cover Price crew. I was clicking on their comment. The what's it called? Not the newsstand, but the
combo pack.
Combo pack. Thank you. Cannabis.
But the problem with and maybe it's a problem, maybe it's not a problem, is just because this first Court of Owls is so messy that you can't really like throw your money at any one particular book. Now this one's got probably the creepiest cover of the ones, but I mean you could, I think, and I'd have to go back, and I feel like there was was it 4? There was the cameo on the last page or something like that.
I think they're almost every book at some point for an advertisement or something else, or they at least talk about them, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those that's like, it's not like CGC doesn't notate their first appearance. It is still technically like, I mean, it's not an individual character, so it's kind of one of those that you kind of struggle with it having like long-term value, because there's very few like team but
there's a good 1 in 25 for this too, done by, is it Jason Fabic, or is it Stegman? Somebody that did let me look it up.
Is it Gary Frank?
No.
So what Ben's trying to say is just buy issues 1 through 10 of the new 52 Batman run anytime you run into them, or any of the variants.
You are right.
I will say
right,
that
Richie.
Yeah, I mean that storyline is literally one of my absolute favorite Batman
That's the book to
storylines
me.
ever.
You hit it on the
like
head,
that.
Richie. Gary Frank. That is the book to me. I think the 1 in 200 is probably the craziest, but I don't even think it's as good as the red. Right?
I like the red a lot. I like, that's a good too, though. That's
And
good
then
too.
there he is right there on the cover of the 1 in 25.
Yeah,
What's
I
the
think
font?
that's the book. That's the book right there.
What's
Or
the combo
Talon.
pack cover look like?
I mean,
It's
that's
just-
Talon, right?
Yeah, it's Talon. You're right. Is it Talon? Is that his name? Yeah.
Mm.
So
Talon,
the Court of
yeah.
Owls is what people are looking for, not Talon.
Right. First
Is that the
quote.
case? Because is Talon's first appearance 6? I can't remember.
No, Talon's I think was in 2.
It's one or two.
One.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then it's probably the 1 in 200, or the newsstand's probably impossible too.
I actually have this in a newsstand, and it's tore the shit out of. I mean, I've seen probably 4 of these in my lifetime in person, and each one is always beat up.
Oh, that reminds me, Long Short. I think I might have found the latest newsstand. Is it 2012 Marvel stopped doing it?
I thought it was 13.
2012 was the last
Just
year.
12.
2012? Okay,
And DC is 2017. I want to say.
ASM 700. I saw ASM 700.
See what that's
and
December.
yeah, it was like December. I looked it up.
I have that, Aaron.
I think it's December 2012.
I could see this book hitting 200 raw.
Release date December 26, 2012.
Nice. Let's put it on the show for next week, man. Remind me.
I didn't want to buy it because it was $140, but like it was tempting.
Brian, I like the red, dude. Dude,
Yeah.
the red is fucking, dude, it
Yeah.
pops, bro.
I agree. Yeah. Now that I look at it, I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, black and red always look so good together.
All right, moving on to another great Kickstarter book. Man, Kickstarter's on fire right now. Hopefully, all you guys signed up for your Sveta Kickstarter last night for that vampires, Luxy Vampire. Got that Sveta Kickstarter book. It might be still going on. It might have like an hour left or something like that. But this is Switchblade Stories, issue number 7. Is it Luana Vecchio variant? Is it? Yeah, Luana Vecchio variant. So just came out recently, March, I think. March or February.
Yeah, and it tells you right there on the front that it's Luana Vecchio's variant.
Yep.
So you don't even have to like think about it. Yeah, I don't know anything about this other than it's some kind of Kickstarter. But I would assume for a book like this, that means there's probably not very many of them. I know nothing about this book.
Pretty dope cover. Pretty good cover. I would have to say, especially with a comment like that. Is she a nun?
Yeah, like a devil nun or something.
None your business.
Shout out to James.
None
Craig.
your business.
Number 6 had a Flops Comics variant. Big shout out to Flops Comics, who just announced he's going to be doing covers, connecting covers for the Rick and Morty book, which is huge.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, that would be interesting.
You want to see what it looks like?
Yeah.
I don't think of his style with Rick or Morty, but that's
Neither do I, but I'm happy for him. I'm really happy for him.
It kind of looks cool. I saw the cover earlier.
Oh, that.
I love his
interesting.
background designs with when he does the space and he does the old school space with the different colored planets and stars. I love that.
It's going to be like a 7-issue connecting covers.
Yep.
Series, right?
Yep. Rick and Morty versus the universe. Shout out to Flops Comics. One of the best. Again, when we're going to talk about all the artists that we think are getting ready to have their big year, their coming out years tonight, I imagine. Flops Comics is definitely one of them. I think Flops hits this year in a big way. And this is just the start of it, I imagine, for him. So.
Oh, and then season 8 is dropping for Rick and Morty this year. I don't remember when, but I did see a preview for it.
Yeah, good shit. Shout out to Flops Comics. All right, next on the Almost 10, Marvel Adventures Spider-Man, issue number 59. One of the toughest Scotty Young covers that you're going to find that I'm sure a lot of people know about now, but they didn't 5 years ago.
Yeah, from what I could tell, this is an all-time high for a Raw, and it was VF near mint, and it sold for 150 Raw.
So
Jeez.
here's another thing that a lot of people don't know is that Scotty Young very first baby cover was not a baby variant. It was the X-Babies comic. He did covers for it when they brought him back, and they're really good. So you should check that out. But Raw for how much? 150?
150. And this is not a variant. This is just late in the run. There's only like maybe 2 or 3 issues after this, but Holy cow. 150 raw for a VF near mint.
You know what really sucks about this is the fact that Marvel ruined it with that freaking barcode and that marvelkids.com. Oh, God. Killed me. But I like the cover. This is a good one.
And his
So we
very
were telling
first.
people to buy these on Long Story Short a year ago, right? And there's newsies of these as well.
Mhm.
There's newsstands. That
No way. Really?
Yeah, I've got a couple, dude. There's newsies of all of these. Like we were screaming at the top of our lungs, like, don't sleep on these. Then we covered this one like a year ago. Aaron, you remember better than me. I don't know, but like it was.
I don't remember exactly what show. I'm sure our audience member remembers. I was gonna say, like, I was feeling deja vu seeing this cover, or what year was this when we? Because I felt like I sat on this panel with someone on this panel talking about this book at some point in time.
Yeah, man, we were like, don't sleep on these books, and but they all have newsies, and they're even rarer. So there's gold to be found, and a lot of the comic dealers, like I just found a newsie not far from like this shop not far from me like 3 weeks ago. So these are out there, man. Go dig, and you can find these.
And the very first Scotty Young Baby variant was Red She-Hulk number 58. Very first Scotty Young
Yes,
Baby
that was the
variant.
start of the Baby run as we know it. So don't sleep on that book either. That's a good one to have.
Amen. So 150 all-time high. Moving on to the final book of the Almost 10, a killer Almost 10 book. A book that I'm probably going to have to find now. Blaze Ya Dead Homie. A one-shot from Source Point Press. This is the McKinley variant on this one. Austin McKinley, is that right? Austin McKinley.
That is correct.
This is a dope cover.
Okay, did you find any additional information about this
About this
particular
series?
variant? No, about this variant.
Nothing.
Because I could not find it anywhere.
The only place I could find it was at robhumphreycomics.com, which I guess is probably, might be his series. So he wrote this series. So he's got this as on his site. And that's the only place I could find it. Couldn't find any.
It is a Source Point Press book, but I also want to know how high was this person when he wrote the book? Just pun intended. So, I mean, because of the movie, right? That's the basic plot of How High.
Yeah.
Smoking your homies, right?
Yep. So this is he says, buried and forgotten for 11 years after being brutally gunned down in the streets, Blaze is awakened from his cold slumber and sets out on a path of revenge. Returning to his old neighborhood, he learns that the only thing that changes in the streets is the date, and that when you're already dead, you may not have anything to lose. This story is the definitive origin of magic ninja entertaining recording artist Blaze Ya Dead Homie. Is he a real recording artist? Are you kidding me? No way.
I didn't know.
Can
you know that I don't know anything about it, and I when I was trying to find this book, I saw this stuff about this guy.
Wow, that's crazy, dude. And I was thinking the same thing that Yee was, that they were talking about smoking your buddy's ashes, like. Yeah. Anyways, $50 raw. I could see this being a tough book right here.
Was it? So you found it on his website. Is it still for sale?
No, it wasn't for sale, dude. It was. Let's see here. Yeah, it's not for sale. It just says what it is. Like he puts up all of the stuff that he's done.
Everyone in the chat saying Juggalos, so I'm wondering if you had to show up to the gathering to get a copy.
That's funny. That's interesting. If anybody knows more about this, let us know. Very cool. That is the Almost 10. Let's get on to the list. Starting off with our Golden Age book this week, True to Life Romances, issue number 9 from the 1949 series. Had a big sale this week.
Yeah, this is, first of all, this is not what you would normally expect from an LB Cole cover. Very, very different. A CGC 7.5 of this sold for $3,800. The highest sale ever for this book in any grade before was a 3.5 sold a couple years ago for $260. So it kind of blew every other sale on this book ever completely out of the water.
Wow.
This is not, I don't think this is even the highest grade of this book either. So I think there's an 8.0 on the census somehow.
That's
I mean,
nuts.
an 8.0 for a romance is crazy. They usually like peak out in like the 6s typically. I've never seen this one. I've never seen this book before. This is crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna go pull my my Gerber to see what the Gerber rating on this was on scarcity, but I forgot.
I'll tell you it's scarce, man. There's 12 on the census. 12 copies on the census. Yes, an 8.0 is the highest grade, but 12 total copies.
Crazy.
That's insane. I mean, really, when you really start to break it down, because I mean, yeah, there's probably a few Golden Age dealers out there that still prefer raw books, but most anybody trying to buy something from the Golden Age they want it graded because just for authenticity and make sure all the, I mean, like, how would I know how many pages are supposed to be in this book? I have no idea. So I mean, I would think most copies that are even there would have to be graded.
Well, and then with an assigned grade too, then you can price it because obviously there's some that have sold, and you can figure out
right
between where your grade is. You can kind of guesstimate what the value you should charge for it, or or sell it at, right? If you have it.
Wasn't there a raw sale not too long ago of one of these?
Of this particular one?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. No. On 2023, one sold for $159 at Heritage.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. For an LB Cole, that's super crazy because if you think of like the top 10 Golden Age artists, he's in the top 5, easy.
Damn.
I mean, her hair's not that insane. Like, how much are chicks paying to like get their hair dyed like that, anyways? Right now.
Yeah. Moving on.
This is an awesome book, man. I would love to have this. Wow. Awesome.
Our next honorable mention this week continues the recent reign of Dan Mora covers. It doesn't have to be a variant. It doesn't have to be a book that you think is a crazy book. It can just be about anything these days, it seems, and it shoots up to over $40. This World's Finest, Batman Superman World's Finest, number 6, Dan Mora cover.
The A cover. This is just the A cover. $50 for this
$40.
book.
What the fuck?
It's 50. It's a $50 book.
That's crazy.
I don't understand it.
It's that Japanese propaganda.
I've got this thing somewhere, man. I've got it tucked away somewhere. I gotta find it. God damn, $50 for this? You're kidding me.
All of his shit is just selling for a lot of money right now.
I mean, he's phenomenal. Like, Mora is like legit. Like, I get it.
Well, here's the start of many A covers or open order variants that we're going to see tonight that are just, on fire, which is a quite rare thing. That's why we're, tripping out over an A cover or a non-ratio variant, a newer book, modern book that like is selling for that much. It's kind of
nuts. I mean, and this is just World's Finest. I mean, it's not like it's some, earth-shattering series that everybody's like, oh, we got to go buy. I mean, like any of the other issues they sell for cover price, but not this one. It's $50.
Were there multiple sales, Ben, of this, or was it just
Yes.
like cool?
Yes, two. Yes, there was two separate sales within the last 2 weeks
Okay,
for the
wow.
same issue, and there's very few of them listed, but they're all listed for that price as well.
And
So
it was also
either.
And it was also listed as first appearance of what random character that no one gives a rat's ass about.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm glad we're talking about this because this gives us a moment to talk about something. Sometimes people will do some weird shit, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's some weird Discord server out there that's going, "Hey, let's go fuck with people and run something up on the market," and
Oh, kind of like what
Aaron guy did, right?
Well, I mean, it was happening with Pokemon cards, right?
Yeah, it was happening.
You
with
see it all the
Pokemon,
time.
right?
Like,
yeah,
it's like auctions get shot up to $100, but then you can buy it now for 10. Like,
but
tell me why that doesn't look funny.
I will say there's this love for Dan Mora covers right now, which is interesting. Unless they
and it's all the Nightwing ones too. So I mean, it's I don't know if it's just something with Robin, Nightwing. I don't know. I mean, it is an odd phenomenon that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
This book was $50 at the end of February, early March, so it started around then.
Wow,
I don't get it.
It doesn't make any sense.
Can't be that rare because I'm going to eBay right now and I see a bunch of sales from back there. I see one dude, he's got like 5 or 6 of them he's selling or he sold.
World's Finest it's not like it's ordered like Batman, but I mean it's not. I mean, you see it in any comic shop you go into. I mean, they all carry it. So, and
it's a solid cover.
It's just an A cover, so it's not like it's
right.
I don't.
Yeah. I wonder it's low print run because they were all in Walmart packs.
Well, let's get into the list. At number 10 this week, she's back. Sonia Modis is back on the list. She took a dark horse deep into the final rounds of the House of Stein cover of the year bracket. And she is back with a Grimm Fairy Tales book. I even think the A cover is good enough to be a cover of the year candidate for this book. Grimm Fairy Tales, or not the A cover, the regular Sonia Modis cover. But this is Grimm Fairy Tales number 95, the 1 in 20 Sonia Modis cover. And it just doesn't have the trade dress, and she's a little bit more skimpy of a outfit. So, but still a damn good cover.
Oh, look at this. Tony in the chat saying some guy keeps bidding up one of my Kickstarter books randomly to 400 to 500.
Interesting. There you go. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, these Matas covers, they've been pretty much, like because the 1 in 20s, because nobody's really ordering 20 copies of these, and so they've been pretty hard to get. For a lot of those, I mean, there was the Pulot too, right? That did
several of them from Zenoscope. Yeah, man. Like recently, you can't find them.
Yeah.
So here's a question about this book: is this a candidate for cover of the year?
Yeah. As of right now, I think it goes. I mean, as of right now, it's on the top 60, right?
Okay.
I mean, it could get knocked off if there's like 50 other, but I think as of right now, this is there's a couple books on the list tonight that I think there's at least 2, maybe 3 or 4 on the list tonight that could be that candidate. Actually, I'm sorry. There is 3 or 4 that are on the list tonight that are books of the year candidates right now, in my opinion. So it's very good week for comics in this list. So, but $50 raw. There you go. Moving on. Number 9, Mr. and Mrs. X, issue number 12. Another A cover on the list.
Again, this one, okay, so this is the last issue. I get it. But again, $40 to $50.
Well, this thing's popped a couple times. I've seen this thing up a few times.
Dodson.
Yeah, but I mean, it was basically a $10 to $15 book, which is still a lot, really, considering. But I actually noticed there was some other like Gambit Rogue covers that were doing well as on top of this one. But I'm not sure why this one, other than the fact it's the last issue of the series, I'm not sure why this one. But it is this one you said this was a Dodson cover.
Yeah, this is Dodson,
Look
and
Dodson. Yeah.
you know these obviously the Rogue Gambit kissing covers always do well. Just covers they're in together do well. Period.
Yeah.
The Bartel for number 2 is insane.
I'm surprised the series even went up to issue 12. To be completely honest.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't know it went up to an issue 12. I thought it was like a mini series where it was like only 4 issues.
I have this book. I was buying this series, so don't make fun.
No, I'm going to make fun of it because I read it. I read part of it, and it was not good.
But now you can sell it for $50 and make all your money back.
That's true.
It's okay. I don't even think it's the best. I think there's a couple way better Gambit Rogue covers.
No, I like issue 2. I think issue 2. I think it's a 1 in 25. Bartel does it. I think it's really good. It's got like a yellow background. I think we had it on the Hot 10 like last year or the year before.
A Datsun cover or a Mazda?
Yeah.
Shout out Southern.
Yee, do you even know what a Datsun is?
Yeah, my dad used to own it. No, my dad used to own a Datsun, so I even got to ride around in one for a while as a kid. Yeah, it was definitely a weird car because you could definitely smell the exhaust in the back seat. That's probably why I'm so weird now.
That is funny.
It started the road for Aaron of Huff and Paint, huh?
It was actually, I was the kid that loved the smell of gasoline.
That's why. Yeah, you can thank your parents for buying a Datsun. Moving on to number 8 this week. It's back. This is second cover of the year type book right here. It's back. Our number 1 book from last week. People are realizing how good of a character this Unholy One character is. And I don't know if you guys heard, but there's a new Kickstarter that's getting ready to be announced. Did you guys hear about this?
Mm-mm.
So, Mark Spears is going to come on probably tomorrow night at some point. Either tomorrow night or the next show, but most likely tomorrow night to talk about Mark Spears Monsters Halloween Edition trading set. He's got a new Kickstarter for a new trading set. And look who is back. So, this character is going to be a big fucking deal. And this is a cool cover. No doubt. And it's up in price, right? It's gone up. How much has it gone up?
Yeah, last week this was $200. Now it's $225. The sets with this one and the Virgin one are like $500. They're over $500. It's crazy, but
wow, beautiful character.
Is it because I met Davis Ryder last week? Is that what happened here?
You gave him the touch. Well, this isn't a Davis Ryder book. This is a Comic Tom book.
I thought they shared it.
I don't think so.
Hey, we don't tell.
I know. I apologize. You don't.
My bad.
You don't.
You don't.
I'm
but,
too stoned. I'm too
care.
stoned to abide by rules, brother.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. I didn't know that that's whose book it was.
Mm.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Usually don't. So, but
Rookie card question mark. So it would be the actual physical card because there are cards like this, isn't there? Or something like that.
he's had a card like this already. Yeah. This is based on a card art. This is the exact card art. So
Probably without the trade on the
without the
back
trade,
is
yeah.
what- yeah.
So, all right, there we go. There's your second cover of the year candidate. Moving on. Number 7, a twofer, a Mark Spears twofer, which you guys are used to now. Usually there's a 6fer or a 7fer.
The whole show. Just
Yeah. Youngblood issue number 1, the Mark Spears variant, which Rob Liefeld absolutely destroyed on his live sale the other night, selling these new Youngblood books. And this was one of the books he sold. And Mark was in the chat, and it was a great moment. And it was really, really cool to see. And
I didn't know where you were going with it. You said destroyed this book. I was like, oh, was he not happy with it? Or
no, dude, Rob loves this cover. And Mark said that he was ecstatic about the art. Did you see the post that Rob put out about this?
I did not.
Oh, dude, you got to check this out. This is cool. This will make all the Mark Spears fans really happy.
Is Liefeld still hanging comics with a clothespin like this on his lifestyle?
So he said, this is from Rob Liefeld. He goes, Mark Spears is one of the greatest success stories of 2025. I'm so humbled that I could get this amazing cover from him. It's an incredible tribute to Youngblood number 1. Tonight on my Whatnot, we are sharing his exclusive for one night only. We have these as holofoils, silver foils, virgin copies, and more. So, and then Mark says, if I could tell my teenage self I would get to do this one day, he would never believe it. That's cool, right?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I like the Virgin too. Virgin looks pretty sick.
Yeah, I like the foils. The foils were knocked out the park good.
Yeah.
So, and the Virgin's selling not too bad. $80, right, Stein?
Yeah, trade dress is 60, Virgin's 80. Now, if you guys are on Whatnot, I don't know what they sold for on Whatnot. So,
it's hard.
It may have been more. I have no idea because you can't really.
Yeah, it's
go
hard to
back.
gauge.
Like you have to see it live to know what they sell for there. But
Or look at their spreadsheet table, and how many sellers are going to be like, oh yeah, let me show you my books.
they have a spreadsheet table.
Yeah, you can look at so on your sale, right? You can look at if you title the book, right? Instead of just comic 1 through whatever, if you actually title the name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's the only way that would work. And then you can look up oh, that's sold for blah blah blah. I mean, but that'd be your own data. I mean, but this would work for Liefeld's case, right?
True.
Yeah. Interesting. Cool. Big Remo says the footage surfaced of what really happened with the House of Stein at the Masters circulating around the interwebs. Should it be on Drama Alert? Stein, were you really the one that was peeing in the lake? What's going on here?
Oh man, it really sucks that whole trip. Really, I drove 9 hours, went inside for an hour, and then they canceled it for rain, and then I had to drive 9 hours home. But they are giving me tickets for 2026, so
for free.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, basically just giving they're refunding this year's, and then I can buy next year's if I want. So
okay.
Obviously I'm going to, yeah. But
did you guys see the AI version of the Youngblood movie trailer? Did you guys see that? Okay. Can I show this to you guys? You guys, this is kind of crazy. So this is nuts. Let me see if I can find this. There's an AI version. Some guy did an AI version of the Youngblood movie trailer. And you can find this.
Selden wants to know if you got a master's gnome.
I would have gotten a gnome, yes, if
What
I
does
would
that
have had
mean?
time.
Stein, what does that mean?
It's like an odd gnome or something.
So
like
they sell these little gnomes every year, and they change every year. So everybody buys these little gnomes, these little master gnomes. And my wife loves the little garden gnomes, so she would have absolutely wanted the gnome.
Okay, check this out. You guys ready? Watch this.
Do people flip them?
Oh, I'm sure.
Shaft and the recon team have been neutralized.
What's going on here? All right, here we go. Sorry about that.
Shaft and the recon team have been neutralized by Cybernet. He's the only one that survived.
Initiate Operation Youngblood.
When we land, unleash hell.
It's AI. It's all AI. Pretty crazy what they can do these days, right? So,
Oh yeah.
Speaking of trailers, have you guys? And sorry if I'm late to the party because I've just been swamped. I have not been paying attention to any comics, except I've been bidding on my comic shop auctions a lot. But have you guys seen the Predator animation trailer?
yeah.
Dude, that looks insane, dude. I can't wait to see that. It's pretty cool.
There's a lot of interesting stuff that's been hitting lately, that's for sure. So, all right. There was, well, anyways, moving on to number 6 this week. This one's a weird one. This one came out of left field for me. I had the hardest time finding any information on this book. If Stein didn't throw me a bone on this one, I would have not been able to find anything on it. Thunderbolts, issue number 1, the Formula E variant. Stein, explain what this is.
Yeah, so I ran across this. So apparently last week, Marvel teamed up with Formula E at their race or whatever, and I'm guessing that these were given out
But
at the race.
So there's
I'm
gonna
not
be, like,
100%. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I did see the back cover of this as to the people on the back cover. So I'm not 100% sure how rare this is, but there were quite a few sales, all at $50 on this. Again, I don't know how rare it is, but I'm guessing that probably most of us didn't even know that there was even a book being made for this event.
I would figure that most of us don't even know that there was a Formula E. Whatever that is. Is that like F1, F2, and then it goes A, B, C, D, E kind of situation? You tell me.
I don't know. I can't answer that, but yeah, interesting. Very, very interesting concept and a weird team up, right?
You know what this looks like?
Formula
That
E
looks
is for electric? Really? Is that what that is?
So. I think that's what it is.
Wow.
You know, when I look at this cover, it almost looks like there's like an animation or something. It looks like a scene out of animation.
So does in the Formula E races when they do a pit stop, do they have to like bring out their Tesla charging cords? Is that how it works?
Charge them up. Yeah, they gotta wait. 2 hours.
They can only use electrical drills to change the tires.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude, I bought a hybrid for the first time just recently. I bought one in February, and oh my god, what a pain in the ass, dude. And I was trying to get the full electric. Thank God I didn't get the full electric. I'd be on the side of the road. I mean, it's impossible to find a freaking charger for those things.
So when I imagine Formula E, I just imagine a bunch of golf carts like racing a Formula One track.
Think how quiet of a race that would be, right?
Hey, I think there's a car coming. Oh, there it goes.
have to cancel the race because of rain due to fear of electrocution.
or possibly electrical fire, right? Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess they can't have these races in California either, right? Because you guys don't have enough power to charge anything.
Dude, seriously, bro, it's fucking brutal out here, man. I mean, my power bill alone is like $1,250, and I'm just thinking, I was talking to my pop the other day. I was like, man, like our power is like off, like probably at least 30% of the time during the summer when it gets hot because of the rolling blackouts. He's like, I don't know how it got that high.
That's crazy, man. Holy shit!
It's the number one driver, Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
Or Lewis E. Hamilton. All right, I'm done.
Yeah. Moving on. Number 5. There it is. From the almost 10 to the big leagues. All new Venom issue number 5, the JTC MJ negative space cover from C2E2 is up again. From what was it at last week, Stein?
It was like $50 to $60 last week, which is why it was just on the almost 10, and now it's like 100 and a quarter. So, Yee, did you got this book at C2E2?
I had 2 copies. I sold one on Whatnot, and the other copy is for Brian. So I guess I need $100 for it, Brian. So.
That's funny. So not too shabby. It's a great cover. Again, I didn't even think about this. Here's another cover of the year category. There must be 5 covers for on this list so far that are already in the cover
of the year. You think this one is?
I think it can be. I think it can be on the list, depending on how the rest of the year
at this
goes.
point, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see in a few months, but right now, I would say so. For sure.
I don't know.
It's only April, but yeah, this cover definitely impressed me. Like,
it's a good cover.
Like, looking at all of the covers from Cover Price that were at this convention, this was like first on my list to pick up, and then it wasn't anything for like 2 or 3 pages for me personally, like whether to collect or to flip. I was just like kind of like, I'm not impressed by a lot of this, but there are buyers for that. Don't get me wrong, I'm just not one of them. But I mean, for this cover, yes.
Yeah, I like this one.
Oh yeah, I did meet Bazinga in line. See, I told you. Like,
nice.
It was easier just to go up and down the line and say hi to everyone, and then other people would stop you like, "Hey, I'm Bazinga." And it was like, "Yep, what's up, dude?"
By the way, you guys, when we say cover of the year category, we're talking about like we do a thing at the end of the year where we have like 64 covers and we choose, and that's what we mean. We're not saying that this is going to be the final cover. We're saying this is in the running to be in the bracket.
Yeah. It's an easy nomination.
Yeah.
Right.
Top 64.
Yeah. It's a nomination. That's the way I should.
Although actually we did a play-in too, right?
We did do a play-in.
It was actually so it was actually 68.
Yeah, 68. Yep, you got it. So, all right, moving on. This one's. Oh, before we move on, what's it selling for again, Stein?
One and a quarter now.
1 1/4. Not too shabby.
See, I'm giving you a good deal, but I guess by the time it gets to San Diego, we'll
It's
see.
gonna be on the dip by the time San Diego comes.
I
So.
know. Yeah.
Moving on to number 4 this week. Definite cover of the year category. Wolverine number 8, the Daniel Warren Johnson, another regular open order variant. And this cover is stunning. Absolutely stunning. I don't know about the interior because I haven't read it yet. I heard it's the first appearance of that new adamantine character or something like that. But this right here is amazing. The trade dress, everything about this cover, even where they placed the name and the box at the bottom is visually in line with the makes the cover. You know what I mean? It would look better if it wasn't there, but it doesn't take away from the cover total like a lot. So
Yep, I agree.
Damn, that's good.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead, Ben.
Oh, I was just gonna say Daniel Warren Johnson grew up in the town next to where I live, so he goes to my LCS all the time.
Nice.
When he's back, he lives in Chicago now, I think, but he grew up the town next to where I live, and I've met him a couple of times. I've asked him to do a couple of Gwenpool sketches for me. He always says no because they'll sell for too much. He tells me, I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. But
you tell him I don't sell books, bro.
Yeah, man. And I have some of his sketches. Honestly, I've got a few of his sketches. Anyways, I pre-ordered this thing out of just like I didn't even see it. I was just like, DWJ Wolverine. All right, I'm gonna buy it. So yeah, I was fortunate enough to grab one of these things without having any idea that it would get this big.
Kilted Corgi says a red auto would be sweet. Holy cow, would that be?
Oh man, yeah, that'll be badass.
That's just.
So the question I have about this book, like, why do people get like FOMO that bad? Because I would assume it's not sold out on the distribution level. I mean, obviously now it is, but like that Wednesday when people sell out,
right?
Then stores like reorder, right? So I don't know. To me, it seems kind of weird that people would FOMO that crazy for a book like this, and instead of just waiting like a month when you could probably buy it again for, I don't know, $10. I feel like is a fair price.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. 35 to 40 for a non-incentive is, but I mean, apparently that was the thing this week. So what do I know?
Yeah,
I feel like this could be a Tech 880 in like 5 years. It just has that kind of vibe to it to me a little bit.
I hope so.
It's that historical Wolverine number 8, you know.
I don't know. Just kind of, there's something to this one.
Yeah, I agree. There's a couple books that are like that this week as we move on. So, but 40 plus for this. I don't know if I'm going to pay that. Yeah.
It was on the shelf. Okay, so I could go to my shop tomorrow and probably pick it up.
Yeah.
Because I know, because
they're probably still out there. You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Guaranteed they're still out there. There's a bunch of people sitting on these things. So, moving on to number 3. There is a chance, yes, Yee. This one's another interesting one. We had the issue number 1 on the list not too long ago. Now number 2. Sister Imperator, issue number 2 from Dark Horse, out this week. Back on the list.
Yeah, and this one is selling for more than the number 1 was selling for. This one's like $30 to $40.
Ghost.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Again, there's no. I'm not even sure there is any variance for this one, right? I think this is just the single cover.
Yeah, I think this is it. He, the lead singer, was on. Was it Rolling Stone? They did like a bunch of different covers for Rolling Stone or some magazine he was on. They did a bunch of covers for him, and I think there was like some rare ones. So I'm sure those are selling for a grip of cash too. So pretty cool. see a lot of YouTube stuff about the band right now and interviewing the lead singer because the new album is out. And this character, and I talked about it the last time we talked about the first issue, this character in this comic is a major character in the whole storyline behind the band, and she's a female, nun type character that's one of the archetypes in the band, but she's an old lady in it, and this is about her obviously when she was younger. So I love that shit, man. That was what made me geek out over Coheed and Cambria when I first got into them. The whole storyline behind all their music, and it's like what are those albums called again? Yee? Like those albums that have like storylines and shit.
Oh, where it's like a concept album, or
Yeah, concept album or something like that. Like like
well,
Pink Floyd and
but
shit.
you're talking about like one that's like telling a story, like kind of like what the fuck is that band's name?
Yeah. Anyways.
Lore. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, and then of course, every once in a while they'll come out as comics, and I think that's cool. So,
Oh, I need to do a State of Filth comic then.
Hell yeah, bro.
That'd be cool.
So, moving on to number 2 this week. Another cover of the year candidate. Summer of Superman Special Issue number 1, the Lozano cover, and another open order variant on the list.
Yeah, and this one had just a truckload of sales. I will tell you this, right before the show, I was clicking on my links that I had up on my screen. This was back available for cover price on the major website or the major retailer. If you want this and don't want to pay $30 to $35, it was up for $6. So go clean them out if you want them.
I'm putting this book on Buy the Dip next week.
I did see that because there is a, and I don't know the retailer that's doing it, but they are doing a Supergirl number 1 Lozano cover in like maybe next month, I think is when it comes out or something like that. And that one is picked up because of this one.
Are you talking about the one where she's blowing bubbles and she's flying in the clouds?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a killer.
Hasn't that been out for a while? I feel like I've seen that for quite a while.
It's been advertised, but it hasn't. It's just coming out to order.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this anime style, I wouldn't sleep on this because I think this is going to slowly take over mainstream comics, if I'm being honest, because it's what moves in manga. And
Totally agree.
I think that this is going to be where the hobby goes. So I wouldn't sleep on this.
I don't know. Would you? I feel like there's this thing that's happening where there's this merging happening between like anime style and regular comic style art. I guess I would say like the more digital comic art. Like you have like people like Lozano, Zerdy, are doing these kind of like big-eyed characters, but they're not total anime. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, yeah, it's blending, but it's kind of like merging all together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
Yeah, they're totally merging.
But you even have like the Demon Days stuff from like Momoko, where she's writing the story and it's like taking place in feudal Japan. So you're getting all those different angles where it's like you get the merging of different anime styles or manga styles with characters that people are familiar with, right?
Well, Lozano's been putting out heat for a year now, at least, if not a couple of years. So, and he's just been refining his pen.
Is there any doubt that they're going to do a second print on this and that yellow background will change to
I hope not.
red or something?
God, I hope
not.
I mean, they shouldn't do it, but they will. I mean, this book was a surprise out of nowhere, so how can they not, right? I mean, I hope they don't, but I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
Please don't, DC. Please don't. Sometimes, man. All right. Moving on to number 1 and definitely cover of the year candidate, Pinup Apocalypse, issue number 1. The second print, Sveta Shubina 1 in 25, is amazing. Fantastic.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously the number 1 regular Sveta cover did really, really well. So when they did the second print and it's not the same image, or it's different colors or whatever, it's completely, it's not the same. So it's no surprise that this one's selling for 125 plus, which is still crazy, but that's not surprising.
Would you say it's smoking?
The issue number 1, that was the Foxy one, right? The red and the pink cover, right? That was the one that caught everybody by surprise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was it pink? I can't even remember.
It was red.
It was red and pink, I want to say.
Oh, we're talking about the butt plug one?
Yes. Yes, the Aaron butt plug tail one. That was the original ratio, right? Everybody slept on it.
Yep.
Yeah, was that the 1 in 50? Is that right?
No, it was a 1 in 25 also.
25?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was like 1 in 50 or 1 in 25.
No, it was a 1 in 25. I remember Leg looking for it, and there was 0 on eBay, and one had just sold for $190 the first day it was out. Like, that's a rare book when there's none on eBay, and the last one sold for $190. Like 2 sales of the book. And here's the problem. Massive realized this, and I haven't heard for sure. This is just me thinking, and they realized, oh, these are hot. We can put them up for a lot of money. So they put them up on their website for like $80, and they sold them on their website for like $80. They came down, and now they're selling these on their websites for like 80, 90, whatever the market fizzles out at is what they're saying. And they had them on the market for pre-sale for $25 a piece. And it sounds like they're canceling all those orders. And they sent emails to people saying, we're going to send you the regular covers you wanted, but these we're going to put back up once the market naturalizes or fizzles out. And well, how is the market going to fizzle out at $100 and you're going to put them up for 100? Because that's so. I'm going to reach out to Massive's owner, who's been on the channel a couple times, and say, hey man, what's the deal with this? This is not going to help you.
Yeah, that's shitty. If they're doing that, that's real shitty, man. That's
and it could hurt
drama
the
alert.
artist. It could hurt the artist too, right? It was a drama alert last Saturday. So, and shout out to Sveta, shout out to her agent here, her art agent here in America. Like, I hope they're noticing this, that could really hurt, and it shouldn't hurt the artist. She has nothing to do with it, but
right,
it is a wiener move to kill Ducordi.
That is garbage. I mean, I put it actually on the same, even though it's completely opposite of what the rags people did, but it's pretty much on the same, like, just 2 big middle fingers to every person that supported you.
It's kind of funny you bring up that book. Yeah, it's kind of funny you bring up that book. So it is. It is.
Garbage or garbage?
Garbage.
But this cover is beautiful, and I would put this on my wall if this was like a print, Yeah,
this is sweet. I like it.
So here's the other art. Like when I was talking about the many artists that we talked about, we're going to talk about tonight that are having the year. Here's the next one, Sveta. I mean, this is Sveta's year to shine too, I think. So
just remember, Sveta's first cover is that Night Thrashers variant.
Yep. Which you could get on her Etsy store. Go eat, you guys. Go eat. So I think this was a really good list this week. I really like the list. It had some really good books on it, some really good non-ratio variants, and some cool books.
Different. Wasn't all Marvel. You know what I mean?
Totally, man.
Like
Totally. Shout out to my boy D in the UK, Comics and Sneakers. He says, Brian, have you seen issue number 3? I have. Seen issue number 3. I've seen basically all her stuff that she's got coming out. I am a super fan. So very, very amazing artist.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm very happy that Longshort jumped on here this week.
I'm also happy, man. Happy to be here.
Also very happy that Richie came off his sabbatical at Joshua Tree, and he found himself, and now he showed back up, and I'm super happy. And
we dragged him out of retirement, according to Sticky Goose. So
yeah. I'm just on the sidelines right now. It's super hard. My job is super hard right now because it's impossible to do loans. Everybody refied during the pandemic, got these super low rates, and then now they have all these credit cards that are going through the roof, and they don't want to get rid of those 2% rates. So it's a lot of time I'm spending right now at the office. But I'm coming back. Buy the Dip's coming back. We're working. We're trying to get it together. Ferdy is going to be joining the show permanently as a staple character, or I guess you say co-host, along with we have a fourth, Thompson, aka Fedora. We're just waiting for him to get his setup. And once we can all figure it out, what were we thinking, Aaron? We're gonna try to do it like twice a month.
Was it twice? I don't remember exactly I think it was something like that.
Yeah, so we'll figure it out.
We're still figuring it out. So, but you should be subscribed to the channel anyways. Hit that bell, that notification.
Aaron, you need to maybe expand yourself a little bit and start joining some other shows. And
I'll just start a podcast with my band and stuff like that, so we can sit there and like talk about our music, like where it's like, so we're really stoked that our album's coming out like on 420, and actually we do have an album coming out on 420, so I'm gonna plug myself right here right now. So that is gonna drop on Slam worldwide. So so I'm pretty stoked about that. The tracks are really sick. We have shirts in hand now, so we will have shirts on our website again.
Awesome.
So 2 different designs.
Hey, are you guys a straight edge band?
Yes, very straight edge. As long as marijuana doesn't count. And alcohol.
And mushrooms, DMT,
just
acid,
anything that's
all
under the sun, does it count? It's lab made, it doesn't count. It's legal here, so it doesn't count.
Good shit, man. All right, you guys. Great show tonight. Much love to these guys. We're gonna get into the Quickie Hot 10. Stein, what do you say?
See you.
All right, starting off tonight with our Golden Age honorable mention, True to Life Romances, number 9, a sneaky LB Cole cover. The CGC 7.5 sold for a nice amount of money, $3,800. A lot of cash for this book. Our regular honorable mention is another sneaky book, Batman Superman World's Finest, issue number 6, a raw $50 bill right in the palm of your hand for this book if you have one right now. Weird, Dan Mora covers are really streaking right now, and this is just an A cover. So all you Dan Mora fans, if you have doubles, throw them up. At number 10 this week, Grim Fairy Tales, issue number 95, the Sonia Matis 1 in 20 variant. This is a virgin cover of her regular variant with a little bit spicier attire. And the regular cover is just as good in my opinion. But this one, being a 1 in 20, is selling for a grip already $50 on the secondary market raw. At number 9, a book from 2019, another regular cover, Mr. and Mrs. X, a Rogue Gambit cover, the final issue of the series, issue number 12. is selling for $40 to $50 a piece. Also raw on the secondary market. Wowzers. At number 8, it's back. One of, in my opinion, Mark Spear's best characters, the Unholy One, who we are hopefully going to be seeing more of in the Monsters universe, is back on the list. This was one of the number 1 books last week, a co-number 1 with another Mark Spears variant. But this one is back because it's selling for even more than it did last week. This book was selling for about $200. Now it's $225 plus, and the Virgins are $300 plus, with sets selling for $500 or more. At number 7, another Mark Spears book. Look at that. We're not surprised. Issue number 1 of Youngblood, the new non-Marvel book. Definitely not a Marvel book. This is an Image Rob Liefeld production, and this is a beautiful Mark Spears variant cover that was sold only on Rob's live sale the other night, which he did such a great job on, and it was really good for the industry and for comic fans to see that happen. So big shout out to Mark and Rob for such a great book. And this book is selling for a grip on the secondary market now, seeing $60 sales for the trade dress and $80 plus for the Virgins. At number 6, a sneaky one for sure, Thunderbolts issue number 1, I guess, from a Formula E event. This was handed out. These books are selling for $50 plus, and not much information about them that I could find. Go check it out. At number 5, all new Venom issue number 5, the C2E2 John Tyler Christopher Negative Space variant. A great MJ cover in a weird MJ book. But this one is up from $50 to $60 raw to now $125 plus, a week out of C2E2. At number 4, a gorgeous cover, a definite cover of the year candidate amongst a couple in this week's list. Wolverine issue number 8 out this week. This is the Daniel Warren Johnson variant, another open order variant selling for a grip of money. $40 on this one, even more sometimes. We've been seeing sales from $30 to $40 easy, and it's at number 4 this week, and it is a beaut. At number 3, Sister Imperator. Number 2, the Ghost storyline, band storyline. The new Ghost album is out, and there's a lot of talk on this new Dark Horse series based on the band's storyline. And this one just came out this week, is selling also for $30 to $40 a pop, and it's another just a cover. Great week for non-ratios. And number 2, another non-ratio, Summer of Superman special issue number 1, the Lozano cover, and this is another cover of the year candidate. Raw $30 to $35 sales on this one. Also out this week. Number 1, Pinup Apocalypse issue number 1, the second printing, Sveta Shabina, 1 in 25. This is going to be her year. I have a feeling it's already started in a big way, and she killed it on this one. This is one of the best covers I've seen in a long time, even better than her 1 in 25 variant for the first print of this book, which was also a banger. Congratulations, Sveta, on 2 number 1s for the first and second printing, both number 1s on the House of Stein Hot 10 list. Will it be back again next week? Who knows? This book is selling for $125 plus. If it continues to go up in price, it will be back. And this has been the House of Stein Hot 10 list and the Hot 10 show for the week of April 18th, 2025. See you next time. Peace.